My reign as a Jeopardy champion lasted almost 35 minutes.
This was coming, like the waiting room of the vasectomist, and I know that's not what he's called. I know there's like a fancy word, but...
If you leave, I have nothing left to live for.
That's right. Okay. So I met my best friend Sarah in the spring of 2007 at Durham Technical Community College. I was an underachieving 18-year-old, and she was a devoted 26-year-old student, wife, and mother of 3. And since opposites attract, we were instant friends. Early into our friendship, we are hanging out, and Sarah gets up to go to the bathroom and leaves on the table her unlocked cell phone. And I noticed that my perpetually stressed friend has as her lock screen and wallpaper a big picture that says, "Don't panic." And I thought, instead, I would put a picture of my cleavage. So, when she returns from the bathroom and finally looks at her phone, I get like that perfect reaction you're looking for when you play a hilarious prank, which is like confusion and realization, and then like disgusted anger. And I knew then that this was something that I was gonna be doing as often as I possibly could forever. And I do it a lot. And every time I do it, she gets angrier and angrier. And she's angry because she has to, for the first time, lock her phone. And she has to like always be diligent about taking it with her when I'm around. And she's angry because even though she takes these measures, I still manage to do it all the time. And it's not just like her lock screen and wallpaper, it's like my contact photo, and also like lots of photos that are then in her photo stream that just like come up all the time. So she's always seeing my cleavage, and she's also angry because she's like, if you're gonna make me look at your cleavage all the time, make it a good photo. Like it's always blurry and I can't see it. So Sarah, every spring, throws this magnificent 3-day party, and we all look forward to it more than Christmas, and friends and family from all over fly in for it. And so, in the spring of 2014, when Sarah and her family moved to Washington, D.C., we knew that that year's party was going to be extra important because it would symbolize to us that through this big change, we would still have these things that were really good and really the same, even though things were immensely different than we were used to. And so I knew it was so important to put a picture of my cleavage as her lock screen and wallpaper that year. And so it's the first day of the party, Friday afternoon, and I notice that her phone is unattended in the dining room. So I slip in the dining room, and I'm completely alone, and I grab one of her children and bribe them to unlock the phone for me, because they know the password. It's just for me. And so it's gonna be a good one. I'm on vacation, so I'm not wearing a bra, and so I like get everything like gathered up, and it's like a beautiful sunny afternoon, so I'm like getting the light, and I'm taking a few because I want some options. And so I select my favorite, and I do my configuration, and I put the phone back exactly where I found it, and I whisk away back into the kitchen, which is now empty. And so I walk into the living room where it is very full, and I step into the living room, and everybody stops and looks at me, because Sarah's phone was in the dining room charging and streaming music and a photo slideshow to the high-definition big screen television in the living room, which was full of family and friends and mostly strangers to me. And I don't know if you knew this, I didn't. When you engage the camera, when said phone is connected wirelessly via Apple AirPlay, whatever's happening on the camera is streamed via live feed to the device you're streaming to. And so there's this living room full of family of Sarah's and her husband's who are enjoying a photo slideshow of Sarah's family's most recent vacation to Paris when they are interrupted by my delighted face, followed by a tour of the entire inside of my shirt. And now the many photos I took are now like incorporated into the photo slideshow. Needless to say, that year's party was the best it ever was. And it gave us that like knowledge that we would be great no matter what. And it gave Sarah some sense of revenge for all of these years that I had tormented her with my cleavage. But in the end, all she had to say about it was tit for tat.